All right, because I'm excited about our featured artists this week. These guys we've been talking about, we've been working with them a little bit here and there. We're going to bring in and talk to Traverse Town.
Did they put their pants on yet, or are they ready? Or did they put their pants on?
I think they put their pants on. I don't know. We're going to have to see. But so, Rob, why don't you bring in Traverse Town? We're going to have a little chat with them and then have them introduce their brand new single, Stay With Me. So, guys, how are you?
Great. How's it going?
Awesome. It's going great. So you're all nice and compact in there. Thanks for getting close to each other.
I know.
Hand check. Okay, sorry. No. So guys, we have DJ in the middle. We have Seth on our right, and then we have Andrew on the left. Guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about Traverse Town and what you guys play, and then if you could introduce the song, your new single, Stay With Me. We'll listen to that, and then we'll come back to you and talk to you a little bit more.
Sure. So yeah, we're Traverse Town. We started probably about a year ago, maybe a little bit over that. Yeah. We're actually three cousins. We grew up together, and
Cool.
we've kind of always been making music since the beginning. When we were kids, we were very heavily influenced by our parents. They used to listen to stuff like Toto and Phil Collins, and with that basically became like our foundation. Like we could pretty much name everything about those two acts in particular, but then like also growing up on like Tears for Fears, stuff like that. It was a massive influence, like just getting into that 80s pop synth sound. So when we kind of decided to get together and make music, it kind of fell in line, and we were like, you know what, we want to kind of put that sound out that kind of influenced us when we were kids and kind of like, you know, maybe revive it a little bit. It just so happens that sound is kind of coming back too in the same vein. So it really worked out. Yeah, so that's pretty much the story of us.
Definitely. So, yeah, tell us about Stay With Me, and we'll take a listen and come back, talk to you some more.
Sure, yeah. So Stay With Me. That's an interesting song because Stay With Me is kind of it's I would call it more refined than some of our other songs. Our first EP, we were really just trying to find our sound and try to find out. If you listen to it, you'll notice one song is pretty different than the other. And you can tell there's a lot of influences that are kind of pulling us all over the place. With Stay With Me, I feel like we kind of found that balance and kind of found our sound and what we're really trying to shoot for. So I would say Stay With Me is probably the best precursor of what Traverse Town is going to be, and probably the best representation of what we sound like now.
Sweet.
Awesome. So Rob, go ahead and cue up Traverse Town. That's an inside joke from earlier.
Traverse Town.
Song, Stay With Me.
Thinking about you lately, trying to guess what's on your mind. Not me taking over slowly, 'cause you leave me so preoccupied. You think I'm crazy, don't even mind. Will you stay with me forever? As we dance the dance of time. And if I step on the gas to go too fast or straight from the back we're on, will you stay a step behind? I'm getting closer by the minute. Yeah,
Stay With Me by Traverstown,
Yeah.
Traverston, whatever you want to call them. No, Traverstown is that. So, guys, I have a question for you. Dave's going to come in and talk to you. He always kind of, gives us the meat of the feature.
yeah.
Well, so that one episode, dude, Dave, when we were going a lot, that was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. So. Anyway, so guys, you guys are really young, it looks like to me. You such a mature sound for such a short amount of time for being together anyway, for just a band. But also, how old are you guys? You can't be more than like mid-20s.
Yeah, that's a funny story. So,
It is funny.
so I'm 25.
Okay.
I'm 21, turning 22, and
I'm 16.
yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking, yeah. Okay, cool. Very cool. So, just real quick before I let Dave take the reins, where are you guys from?
So we're from southeastern Mass. All
Okay.
surrounding towns in there. So like Westport, Dartmouth, based over there. Basically like
Okay, cool.
40 miles out from Boston.
All right, sweet. Okay, well, that's my questions. Dave, take it over for a little bit, will you?
No, that's cool, man. I didn't know that they were cousins. I mean, there's a bunch of bands out there that are brothers or relatives, and I can't reel them off right now. I'm sorry, but I do remember whenever I became aware of that, I also noticed the tightness in the band. It's almost like they have like some type of common ground or some type of cosmic connection that's underneath just three humans. Whether it's the family thing or something, just some type of connection that shows in the music. We had done a review on one of your past songs, which is called Just Kids. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, Just Kids is a finalist. It's one of the final songs that's being considered for these virtual reality music placements. That whole list, there's about 80 or 90 songs submitted. And we pared the list down to 15, and Just Kids is one of those. So congrats on that. Hope to have some news. I hope you guys are chosen. That'd be awesome. But
Honestly.
I remember reviewing this song in a show. I think it was a few months back, and it was a cool song, but over time it's grown on me, that song Just Kids. I remember saying it was a little bright when I first heard it. But it's grown on me, and I like it. I think it has some really awesome moments in the song. But then I heard "Stay With Me" today. I'm like, man, that is a noticeable improvement. We were talking in the room before the show. I was waiting for the interruption. So I listened to "Stay With Me" before the show, and there was a noticeable difference. I remember asking you guys, "Is this the same album?" Because it was so much warmer. It was better mixed. All the part, the EQ, just the levels, everything was really clean and well balanced. Drum playing was awesome, man. I meant to tell you that. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. DJ
Seth.
I'm sorry. Great playing, man. A lot of offbeats. Just kind of, I don't know, exploring, letting loose a little more in the timing of the song, and that it's noticed. I just want to tell you it's noticed, and it's awesome. So in terms of the vibe of it, I was trying to think of some bands that I could relate you guys to, and what was popping up in my brain was Jars of Clay. And
That's
I don't know-
interesting.
That's
Did you hear that?
crazy.
Did you hear that, Jay? Is that okay? Let's talk about this because
That's
There-
funny.
there's a few different paths we can go down in this conversation, because obviously they're a Christian rock band, and all their songs are about spirituality and their religion and everything, but there was just something about the vibe, I can't pinpoint it. I can't put my finger out. I don't know if it's just the vocal style where that's the other thing. I said it was almost like a celestial voice, not like it's not manly or anything. It was just a really positive, nice sounding voice. But
Yeah.
man, I'm talking too much here.
No, not at all. That is so funny you say that. That makes so much sense. We're all Christian, so.
Oh, well, there you go, man. God, what is it then? What?
You know what it is, and it's funny that you mentioned Jars of Clay too, because we all also grew up listening to that. I could say, well, for me especially, that they were a big thing. I used to listen to them all the time when I was a kid. So that's kind of funny you bring that up. I'd never like consciously try to like, you know, like I don't think I'm consciously influenced by it. But since you brought it up, it's kind of funny.
No, I know. Isn't that weird though? It's like I'm trying to figure out what makes me think of that. What is it in the sound that brought me to that band? I didn't know you guys were like Christian or into like
that's so
rock
funny.
or anything. Yeah. We didn't even talk about that, yet I still heard
We
it.
didn't at all. See, that's amazing because I guess you can just tell. Yeah. It's
Well,
just,
the other amazing thing, okay, I'm going to kind of take over for a second. So the funny thing is I sort of thought sort of the same thing just because of the positivity you guys bring and the mature sound. And it's funny that Dave mentioned Jars of Clay because I actually went to the same college they went to and produced their first record, Greenville College in Greenville, Illinois. So like I was sort of in that, like I was right after them and I was sort of in that, you know, everybody was like, oh yeah, Jars of Clay, Jars of Clay, Jars of Clay. But same, yeah, I didn't think about that name until Dave mentioned it, but totally. That's awesome. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we really like, I don't know. There was always something about like they were different. They were different. Like we're not like really that kind of folky style, but they always brought like something totally different to that at the same time, I feel. So it's,
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing we talked about was just like the improvement in the mix. Like, do you guys want to just say a few words on what you've changed in terms of like your approach to engineering and production? Because this was a noticeable improvement, man. Like from the song Just Kids, and Just Kids was a great tune, but this was just like, wow, that's like a really, really pleasing, nice sound.
yeah.
So you said you hired like a new engineer. Is that what happened, or?
Yeah, I'll like talk a little bit on it, and then I'll actually hand it over to Seth. Seth's actually the one who really does probably like 80-90% of our mixing. And
Wow.
yeah,
Talented young man right there.
yeah, he's the bomb. But one thing that we did do is we did invest in some better like VST plugins and stuff like that. Before we were using just like straight Logic and just kind of feeling our way around it, not too familiar. And since then, at least since this next song, we really tried to do our homework a little bit better. Certain sounds we were researching, like how to achieve this, how to get like, you know, basically like that kind of sound, especially when you're looking for kind of like vintage sounds and kind of stuff that's like very ambient. It's that kind of thing is like, you can only play around so much and then you got to kind of research. So I can speak on that, but I'll let Seth talk about like the actual mix and what that was like, because he really did like a majority of that.
Well, yeah, like I was talking to you guys about before, a lot of it is just like spending a lot of time with it, just long nights, just sitting, listening to the song over and over again in the same place or different places. And yeah, one of the biggest improvements was that, just like taking a lot of time sitting with it. And I believe getting it professionally mastered definitely helped a lot. We used the 1975's mastering engineer along with Arctic Monkeys, and we loved their masters, so we figured why not give them a shot. And yeah,
Cool.
I think it turned out a lot better.
Oh yeah, that it paid off, man. That was a great decision. Joe, wrap it up, man. We got another artist coming up.
Yeah, so guys, we just wanted to thank you very much for, you know, hanging out with us tonight on our show. It was kind of short notice. I just got in touch with you a couple days ago, so I really appreciate you being prompt and responsive and stuff. Like I said before, don't be strangers. You know, you're part of our community now, so make sure you know, be involved with us and hang out with us and all that stuff. And, you know, we'll just keep growing this relationship. So before we let you go, why don't you shout some people out who you want to thank, who you want to say hello to, you know, and then we'll say goodbye to you.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we want to thank all our fans out there. Thank you guys so much for sticking by us. It's only been a year, but you guys are awesome and you guys are so helpful. And the fact that you want to listen to us, and I'd just say, like, keep tuning into programs like this and keep supporting like indie music, because I feel like this is where music is kind of getting back to where it should be. And thank you guys. Thank you so
Very
much.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, pleasure, man. Pleasure.